My name is Dr. Dusty Spencer, and I'm the orthopedic surgeon at Dove Lewis. And today we're going to talk a little bit about cranial cruciate ligament ruptures in dogs and the TPLO procedure. The first thing to consider when we're talking about cranial cruciate ligament ruptures is how dogs present with that injury. And one of the things that we see, the most common thing, is lameness. And that lameness can be anywhere from just a little bit lame to completely non-weight bearing lameness. The lameness that we see in dogs with cranial cruciate ligament ruptures can vary from being a one-time deal, very acutely, to something that is intermittent over time for months to potentially years, getting better with rest and medication and then getting worse with exercise and activity. If your dog is showing any signs of lameness at all, it's a good idea to have it checked out by a veterinarian or an orthopedic surgeon for sure. So let's talk a little bit about general anatomy in the dog knee, where it's located, and the cruciate ligaments as well. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is the location of the knee in the dog. In people, it's pretty obvious where it's at, but in dogs it can be more challenging because they've got four legs. So in the dog, the knee is located on the back limb, and it's located about halfway down between the body and the foot, right where the limb bends before it hits the body of the dog itself. And we're going to take a look at an x-ray of a normal dog's leg in the back limb. And here we go with a side view of a normal dog's leg. This is the knee right here, and this is the ankle right here. This is the shin bone or the tibia, and the femur or the thigh bone right here. And this is the kneecap or the patella right there. There are two different cruciate ligaments in the knee. One goes from about here to here, and the other from about there to there, and they cross, which is why they're called cruciate ligaments. And this is the one that's torn. And if we look at the top of the tibia, it's slanted backwards. And every time the dog walks, the femur comes down and wants to slide off of that slope. But this ligament acts as a tether to hold it in place so it doesn't slide off the back of the slope. In a normal dog, when the knee and the ankle are both flexed at 90 degrees, the back of the ankle and the back of the tibia and the femur are all in nice alignment. If we compare that to a dog who has a torn cruciate ligament, one of the things that you'll notice is that the back of the tibia and the back of the femur and the back of the tibia are no longer aligned. Instead, this femur has truly just slipped off the back of that slope. So here you can see they're nicely aligned, and here you can see there's a step between them. So when we talk about the TPLO procedure, it stands for tibial plateau leveling osteotomy, and we call it a TPLO for short. The tibial plateau is this angle right here. We call it leveling because we actually make this top of the tibia more flat, like a human knee, and then osteotomy because we cut the bone to do that. So we take a curved cut in the top of the tibia about like that. We take this entire top portion of the tibia and rotate it a very specific number of degrees based on our pre-op x-rays that we take. Once we get it rotated, we go ahead and put in our plate and screws to hold things together while the bone heals. And bone will heal back to 100% of its normal strength. It's one of the only tissues in the body that will do that. So once the bone is healed, we don't need the implants any longer, but we don't go get them unless there's a problem. And usually that's only about 5% of the time. Typically these guys keep their implants in place for life. Now this is the same dog before and after surgery. Here you can see the plate and screws that are in there. This is the cut that we made right here. This is how far we rotated it in this dog. And now you'll notice that this is much flatter than it was before surgery. And the back of the femur and the back of the tibia are now realigned. So when we perform the TPLO procedure, we actually change the biomechanics of the knee, so they don't need that cruciate ligament anymore. And so when we see these guys walk, we see much reduced motion back and forth of the tibia and the femur, which decreases the inflammation and the potential arthritis that could build up if we don't do surgery on these guys. If your dog is showing any signs of lameness or you have any concerns, feel free to go to our website or give us a call to schedule an appointment with our orthopedic surgery team.